the chances to kind of come back into this. But I do think that they need to think long term, right? They need to use this gift, so to speak, that was given to them by being able to play in the KIS and to take all of the lessons that they've learned to really help them. This is going to be fast learning for Rattel and Namu to get on that level quickly.
It seems storyline for Team HOK, right? It's like, okay, guys, this is your first international tournament as a team together in the big stage. So here you are. Try your absolute best. Don't feel bad about it. Gain as much experience as possible. And hopefully that experience that you acquired will help you later on in the 2026 HOK esports year, because we have a long year ahead. You have your own regional tournaments, you have your global tournaments like the KWC, KIC at year end, and even like new editions of KNC. So opening series, opening tournaments as KIS4, these are valuable lessons for all these teams.
Yeah. I think that that's the most important takeaway, right? Getting these opportunities to play in this one, and especially in the Invitational, the teams level up much quicker. You're seeing exactly just how much better Blacklist International got because of all the games that they played. When Blacklist first showed up, they weren't really that great. You're kind of thinking, what kind of level are they going to be? Are they going to have to play? But man, these guys have really stepped up and are outside of the MKL squads. This is maybe the best team out there.
No. Let's not overhype them first, because last time when we hyped them back at KIS3, they got reverse swept by the same team they are playing against right now. So let's put our focus back into analyzing this upcoming draft. NONGSHIM REDFORCE selecting the Ever Knight's Aspiration, one of the newest heroes in HOK, Haya, as their first pick.
Yeah, actually, you caught me. I was trying to do the same thing I did at S3 with hyping Blacklist, and then NONGSHIM just coming out and just killing them. I'm trying to give them, I'm trying to curse them in a way, but I'm giving NONGSHIM a chance. I want this to go to a game 5, right? Because I expected them, NONGSHIM, to kind of extend the series whenever they can. But this Haya pick, it's going to be an interesting one to really set themselves up.
Okay, I'm not a biggest fan of picking the Yangjian Dolia into Haya. This is the known counter, but it really depends on whether or not the player is capable of pulling the Haya off. For Blacklist International, they have a very difficult early phase right now, because mid lane is definitely going to be won by the Haya, and the Ogrun will invade the Trilight's jungle because Trilight is super duper weak in the early phase. We saw how it happened between TNX and also Fei Shi in day 1, where the Jing just pummeled and stole everything from the Yangjian. For Blacklist now, you need to cover a very good mid P3, which is a Garuda, a staple counter against the Haya.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think it kind of adds a lot. It has that range advantage. The Wings of Judgment is going to be annoying to deal with. Plus, it does very well against the Ogryn, because you kind of like, you want to stand off? All right, we'll eat some needles to the face, right? So I think that you have a lot of a good mid laner to kind of deal with this. Plus, you want to stay at range, which is going to be key for Blacklist.
For now, I think both sides, they are looking at the situation is like, okay, I pick Haya first, so Blacklist International answers with a Majestic Guardian, and I pick the Triolite, and NONGSHIM REDFORCE answers with a Soul Guide. So these are the combat in terms of the draft. You haven't gone into the game, but you're already trading blows by neutralizing some part of the enemy's composition with certain counters.
It's smart, and that's how you want it to do it, right? Blacklist International right now, TG's done a masterclass in terms of counter drafting. Excuse me, in game 1, did a great job. I expect it to be much better. No, they picked D-Ren-J, and all of a sudden, I was like choking.
Are you choking for the water that you're drinking, or are you choking for NONGSHIM? Ah.
Oh, snap. Too early, my friend. Too
early. I'm sorry.
We'll see.
It hasn't happened yet. We'll see. Okay, for Blacklist International, locking in that Magistrate on towards the 4th pick here, giving a solid farm lane blind pick into the hands of Golden Kite, and NONGSHIM REDFORCE coming in with a key ML special. The Sunbin locked in for Namu Tree.
This is going to be a good one, right? I think for Aaron and the Sunbin providing a lot of that speed. That's kind of where you get a potential jump in with the Haya as well. Could really add on. Aaron just really stable in terms of that farm laner. You want to be able to do that focus damage and to kill and burst people as quickly as possible. Blacklist, they're going to end up with the fatigue. Let Chammy1 do some work here.
In terms of both teams' draft, I love both of them. For NONGSHIM REDFORCE, the idea is simple. You want to ride on the Haku and Illusion mid-jungle synergy to dominate the early game, giving leeway for Namu's Time Bender Sunbin to scale for that Time Flux, right? You want the Time Flux to be max 5 stacks in, super good on the CD, refunding 30% of the damage taken in that specific short time, which makes the Soul Guide and Rose Fencer into such a rare boss that you have to worry about. Now, for BLACKLIST International, same could be said. They want to play the early game aggression with the Garuda, with the Direnjie, and then utilize this strong early game pushing power to deny the enemy from being able to play that late game.
Yeah, and it's all about that late game, right? Just setting themselves up. Are they able to get there, though? That's going to be the biggest one because, again, Oghren, great for mid, hasn't been the best in terms of that raid boss, but when you're able to kind of stack that up, you have the Charlotte as well, you have the Aaron that's going to definitely do its own damage. It could be a potential mix here, which could be tough for them to deal with.
It's down to execution. Last game, BLACKLIST International seemed to having a bit of an issue in that early game where a lot of times they were being outpaced by the side of NONGSHIM REDFORCE, but it's really down to how consistent you are in maintaining your tempo and minimizing those mistakes throughout the entirety of the game. So I'm excited to see how NONGSHIM REDFORCE this time fix their mid-game tempo and make sure that in the 10th minute mark, nobody is under some pressure to make a huge play to make a game comeback.
Yeah, they need to survive 8 minutes. I mean, that's the biggest thing, right? Get past the 8 minute mark, turn it up then, right? That's the NONGSHIM that we want to see. In previous iterations of this squad, NONGSHIM, they've done a great job of the mid game. This roster has not been able to achieve that same level of success.
Now we'll take a bit of a chunk here, but you can see the higher damage in towards the early game here. The mid-jungle synergy just pushing Dragon and also the side of Chaz back towards their own base. You can see the early game aggression of Haku already planning to invade this early camp, but the Smite War does go into the hands of Just G.
Yeah, this is what you want to do as Haku, right? I mean, Haku is the style where, again, he does a great job of farming, but now he's going to be focused here, no real play. He's going to be targeted, and he gives up First Blood. Chammy one all the way from the Clash lane, comes down and says, I'll take that.
That was so well coordinated coming in by the side of BLACKLIST International. What exactly happened was Just G landing the spell 1 dog on towards Haku, and he said like, okay, I got him marked, Chammy, just jump on him with your S1 third cast flash on towards Haku. Haku doesn't have half a passing, he's just gonna be stuck there, and then the chain CC comes in and gets the first kill for the side of BLACKLIST, beautifully executed by the red side.
Absolutely perfect there by BLACKLIST, right? And Haku was just like, okay, I'm trying to change things up. You told me to be aggressive. I wanted to be invading the enemy jungle, but little did he know that the rest of BLACKLIST International were going to heed the call and they were going to answer and just show up in an entire village there with pitchforks, and they took him down.
And it also explains some stuff, right? When you want to be aggressive on the mid-top side of the map, which is what we call half map, your Clash lane matchup needs to be winning for your team to come over. And check out the 1v1 between Ratel and Chammy1, both exchanging ultimates and just having a handshake here, with Dragon just coming to visit Chammy for a bit of a assistance.
Yeah, they're going to help just ensure that they secure that Sprite there. I mean, Ratel was watching. He was trying to go for the steal. Was going to be very lucky if he did with that tri-slash. Not able to hit it, and he's going to be pushed back. And again, Chammy1, you do not want to let this guy get going, right? Once he's got that farm, this fatigue is going to be a problem.
Look at that lane dominance here coming in from Siri, just pushing Golden Kite all the way to the edge of his screen here, not allowing him to take farm without any worry. So in this early game, you can start seeing Illusions pathing on the Haya to play hyper-aggressive with that first level 4 ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, you have that potential gank, right? You always kind of want to go in with that. I mean, yeah, you probably might not win it, but you isolate it, right? If Golden Kite is kind of by himself or nearby with Chaz, maybe you take out Golden Kite and you're able to focus fire Chaz. Like, it opens up doors, but getting that gank, not the easiest. We're gonna have to see how this Haya actually plays in the end.
Ooh, Haya's ultimate forces up the flash coming in by the side of Dragon here. Illusion being chased off here, but I do think that there won't be a fight continuing here by both teams.
Yeah, both of them are going to back off. Chaz was a little bit on the lower end, but with Dragons like Wings of Judgment, a lot of zoning, that's going to be a tough one to kind of navigate through. NONGSHIM, again, still very early, but they're down about 700 gold. A little worrying, especially since you've got the Oghren.
And Dragon might be the next big target for Illusion to capture him into the Moonscape Mirage. Because if the ultimate breaks, the chain breaks between the Haya and the enemy, you get like a 75 to 85% cooldown refund, but the enemy committed that 2-minute flash. So for Illusion, the next big play will be this Tyrant River area. The bushes will be extremely difficult for Blacklist to enter.
Yeah, my concern though is that Illusion, he just hit level 5. He was actually 2 levels behind Dragon at this point, who's been able to outscale. His wave clear has been unreal, but Illusion is trying to like rotate around. I mean, he's the secondary support, so he's looking for the play more than anything else and not just trying to go in. But the Hound forward, Jussie going aggressive, he's going to be miraged, and we're going to see exactly how that one plays out. But the rest of them are sticking around because who's going to pop out? Haku is there at Half-Life. He's a juicy target as well, and now they come. Jussie's a little bit on the lower end. The Conductor of Souls is not going to be enough. Path of Passing's over the wall. He will be fine, but Blacklist International are going to be fine with that. They back off.
Blinking health bars coming in from both ends here, with the side of NONGSHIM REDFORCE having superior health bars to tackle this upcoming objective. But seems like both sides want to prioritize the jungle resource first, with Haku prioritizing his own Azure Golem, which allows Blacklist International to take this with no contention.
Yeah, no contention there. I mean, they were nearby, but Namu and Siri, not real good chances of targeting that away. I mean, Haku wasn't really even there, but now it looks like Jussie and Dragon have just quickly turned. And like Haku was looking for the steal, and he might smite this, but he's not going to take it away. Jussie takes that one for good measure.
Very good secure coming in by side of Blacklist International, getting that Tyrant towards the bottom side and immediately rotating themselves towards the Crimson Golem, because they know for a fact that Haku has the priority on the clear on his Azure, which gives him direct access towards the jungle. So you gotta move fast. If you're slow for even 1 or 2 seconds, that Azure Golem could be going into the hands of the enemy team.
Yeah, and I mean, a little micro mistake, in my opinion, by Rattel. He teleported to the bottom T2 instead of the bottom T1 because he knew that Golden Kite was there with that Imperial Order to kind of get that stun. But I think that you need to be a little bit aggressive. He took way too much structural damage on that one, and now it's turning into a bottom T2. Things are not looking good for NONGSHIM here.
It is all looking good, and we do see the Moonscape Mirage capturing Jussie for a 1v1 battle in towards that Mirage. It's not looking good for this Haya at all, as we see a solo kill being committed already.
I mean, you're going to take the god, the heaven and earth mode, Jussie. He's going to be in that one, taking that one down. He's taking Illusion. He's taking Haku. He's taking everything at this stage. Blacklist International are saying, hey, you want to take me away? What are you going to do? I'm going to take away everything as well as your T1.
Red team has destroyed
Wow,
the tower.
throughout that last 2 minutes of exchange, so what exactly happened? We do see another engage though by side of Jussie.
Yeah, he's going to be aggressive, and that's what you want to do. You zone them away. Right? The amount of sustain that they have is just kind of unreal at this point. And NONGSHIM, they're reeling. This is, again, a very defensive, reactive game. They're 2K behind. This is not looking good for NONGSHIM.
Now, back to what we talked about the last 2 minutes, what exactly happened. The first teleport mistake coming in by Rattel caused the first tier 3 to be down. I mean, tier 1 tower, right? The outer one. And then that escalated into another tier 2 tower. That went down. And then Illusion grabbed Jussie in towards the 1v1 zone. Gets taken down. Mid tower goes down. That's like what? 3 towers plus 1 kill given over to the side of Blacklist in the span of 2 minutes. That's absurd.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Illusion is playing like the Hayas on my squad, where he like will throw people into the Mirage and then he just dies. But not a good one on this one. The Crimson Golem gonna be contested here, but Blacklist International have made them pay, right? They made them panic, and they've kind of, you know, forced the issue, and NONGSHIM have been making some mistakes here.
They're just playing towards Blacklist Temple right now. Everywhere that Blacklist goes, they can manage to get some form of resource. Bottom was tier 2, mid lane was tier 2, and right now, check out the Overlord that's pummeling towards the top side. That tower is going to go down in just a short moment.
Yeah, it's looking to just easily be taken down. Plus you have Golden Kite, right? With the D-Ren-J, that every third shot on that card is going to do some more whittling that down even further. So this is a tough one for NONGSHIM because they don't really have the right flank. And now with that Heaven and Earth mode, I don't know how you can really fight. Haku is not even close to being able to, in fighting form, to deal with this. And if anything, they're not able to take him down. Illusion just barely survived.
That's the direct counter between the Majestic Guardian, a long-range mage, into the Illusion Haya. We talk about like, what's the potential Haya counters? There's 2 on the enemy team of Blacklist International. Number 1, Golden Kite's DRJ, the spell to legal immunity, cleanses the pull of the ultimate coming in from Illusion's Haya. Number 2, Dragon. You don't have to wait for the enemy Illusion to pull the enemy into the 1v1 zone. You just gotta poke out Illusion first and make sure that he's not healthy for that 1v1.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, then he's going to be really kind of hesitant to even use it, and then you're like, okay, then it completely takes away from this lineup, right? This draft revolves around isolating somebody, but if you're looking at targets, almost everyone can fight. Just G, Chamey 1, not great targets. Golden Cut can fight on his own. Illusion right now, he's a secondary support, so he doesn't really have the items to kind of fight with them. Who do you really pick at the end of the day?
Maybe potentially Chaz. Or Dragon if you can find him if he face checks, but that's really difficult. So for the side of NONGSHIM REDFORCE, Illusion's ultimate hasn't been buying them a lot of space at all. Rather, it's been giving a lot of times to Just G to solo kill him, isolating that 1v1.
Yeah. Now with the Heaven and Earth mode, Just G doing a little bit of work onto Haku. He's got to show a little bit of respect. He's going to be backing off, but again, just pushing them back. The zoning is real by Blacklist.
They're not calming down at all. With every single marker they're playing right now, they're just going aggressive. Illusion has already captured for that 1v1 as a fight is about to break over.
Yeah, Haku with that tether, I mean, he just go with him, but Illusion just get bursted down. He's down for 30, opening up the bottom T3. Blacklist International doing everything right. They don't really have any sort of way to deal with this death ball that is Blacklist.
I'm a bit sad for Illusion, actually. Every single 1v1 that he's committed against the Blacklist members, he's not having it good. He lost to Just G, he's lost to Chamey 1, and right now, he's losing out his entire base.
Yeah. It's almost like Blacklist are like, okay, thank you. I will just isolate you now, Illusion. What are you gonna do, right? It's almost like he's playing for the wrong side. He's helping them out by putting them in a bad spot and just sacrificing his own life now.
I mean, in terms of the idea, it's... Oh, that's almost a steal. Okay, in terms of the idea, it looks great. It's like, oh, Haya does pretty good into the Yangjin. Haya does pretty good into some of these heroes on towards the enemy team. But due to how low the farm is on towards Illusion, he's playing more like a Ladies and utility mage style, not getting a lot of resource. Once you lock the enemy in, you kind of just isolate yourself into a 1v1 with no teammates helping. Look at him, 4.4k, lower than his team Sun Bin.
Yeah, and also level. He's the lowest in this game right now. He's level 10, right? Everybody else is at least a level 11 and higher. He has not had a good game. And I mean, it's almost self-inflicted because he keeps miraging the wrong people and he keeps getting killed in them. So it's one of those situations where it's like, okay, Illusion, maybe you should stop doing that. Maybe you just kind of like farm a little bit, catch back up. Again, use your wave clear to kind of extend the game. But right now, Mirage is not the answer.
I think it's more of a different game plan, right? Where we need to see Illusion get like 3 or 4 items due to the early game lead that he has committed for himself. But due to the fact that Chamey 1 roamed towards the mid lane, got the first split for the side of Blacklist International, which caused into such a dire situation right now for NONGSHIM to be in. 6,000 gold deficit against their opponents, and right now they have once again committed that Mirage against Just G.
Yeah, he's going to be going into this one. It looks like Just G's doing a little bit of work, just chasing after him. Illusion's just trying to stay alive, but now they have a 4-on-4, now making it 5-on-5. Illusion just barely surviving on this one, but they've taken all the towers, which is pretty much what you want. Just G with that tri-slash doing a little bit of work, but NONGSHIM does not want to let them go for free. Tries to go, the Wings of Judgment is on. They find Just G, that's the nice little pickup. Haku trying to find the right target on the Chaz. Can't actually go in for this one. Siri's going to be killed on this one. Most of that damage, they find Namu as well, but Haku is still somehow alive. No, he gets bursted, and Blacklist International with Dragon and Chamey 1, they find the picks, they find the plays, but more importantly, they want the crystal as they're looking to end this game. Illusion is there, but all he is a range creep. He goes down as well, and Blacklist International take game number 2.
It was looking so good for the side of NONGSHIM REDFORCE, but because of the fact that they lost the early to mid game so hard, the good fight that they had proposed at the very end of the game came back hunting them because the gold lead, the equipment, the level lead being generated by Blacklist is just too darn far ahead. Hence, the good fight that they imagined went so south for them.
Yeah, went south very quickly, right? This is a tough one. I mean, for NONGSHIM, you were thinking in like isolation, like a Haya kind of works. It has that play, but in the end, and I know that you're still thinking about like, oh my god, that game. Like, how do we do better, right? As NONGSHIM, like I'm not sure what you can do because Blacklist and International had all of the answers on that one.
I think it comes down to the same thing that we keep talking about, right? Like executing your game plan. Like we don't talk about the Haya mistakes that happen on like pulling in like insufficient 1v1s. We think about what caused that situation to actually happen. Number one, you picked the Haya, you did amazingly well in the first quarters of the trade in that 3v3 in the mid lane, but the problem is you didn't recognize the fact that Chami had the superior push over Rattel in the clash lane, which put you into a 4v3 and your Augur started spell 2 and you're like, oh, Chami is here and Augur started spell 2. He doesn't have a flash, he's a jungler, so he gets jumped on, he gets stunned, he gets immediately taken down.
Yeah, immediately, right? I think that they had the edge throughout. All the lanes were kind of in favor of Blacklist. They had all of those pieces as well. I mean, the way that they played that one out, and again, it comes back to Haya, first pick. Almost all of the picks after by Blacklist, great counter, a great synergy. And they had a lot of, just being able to handle whatever they were throwing at them, even with the Haku Ogren. They were like, okay, come at me. The heroes were really on point.
And the gold that was being absorbed by Illusion just wasn't enough. 5.6k on towards Illusion. At the end of the game, he only had 2.5 of an item compared to his counterpart, which is Dragon, 9,000. Almost the richest aside from Chami One in his team.
Yeah. I mean, just Chami One, he is the richest. He's the 1% in this game. He was doing very well in terms of setting it up. And that's why you really didn't have any targets for Illusion to kind of mirage anyone. I mean, you were talking about Dragon and Chaz, but they're all the way in the back. They are never going to get near you. And Golden Kite, just Chami One, they can be up front and they're able to isolate him. They're like, come at me. I want to be in that one-on-one.
Difficult stuff coming in from NONGSHIM REDFORCE, but is this their power spike? Last time when they met Blacklist International, when they were down on series point, they managed to make a reverse sweep happen. Do you think this time, this is the same thing that was going to happen again?
Well, I mean, going into this one, you could never say never with NONGSHIM. I think the potential is always there. They're mechanically sound, but the mistakes that they're making, they seem to be a little bit more glaring. They're not like micro mistakes. They're like overall gameplay mistakes. I don't mean to be so harsh, but you're kind of seeing when Blacklist can take you down in 12 minutes in both of the games, there's a huge, you're playing something, you're playing incorrectly.
Like, there is always this thing that happens in the NONGSHIM REDFORCE game. It's evident even in the series that they played against BTR, where occasionally, we're talking about occasionally, like they have the lead, it's like 50-50, and one small mistake happens in a cross lane, one small mistake happens into a specific engage where no one is ready, or someone is too slow or focusing on their own wave. We saw it in last game where Seri, even though they were 45, he went back to the bottom to farm. We saw it in the series against BTR. Rattel was overextending in towards the side lane as Charlotte. So these are the things that they need to fix, and it's a good platform in KIS4 that they're recognizing their mistakes before going to KML, where it directly qualifies you to Honor of Kings World Cup in Saudi Arabia, where it directly qualifies you to KIC 2026, which we don't know where it's going to be held at.
Yeah. I think also to kind of add on to that is that if you're looking at this roster or this draft by NONGSHIM, it just seems very greedy in the end. Like Charlotte, Ogren, you have the Haya, the Aaron. Like these are heroes that kind of need farm, right? Nobody can be like that Lady Jean, that secondary support. Like Haya needs, if you're going to isolate somebody, you need to be able to fight. You need some of those items. And it seemed like the draft, if you're thinking about it now, with hindsight bias, of course, is that, there's not enough farm to go around. Somebody has to sacrifice. Correct. Or like two or three members maybe get farm. But with 4, this is like everybody's poor.
That's a beautiful point, because if you think about it in this way, resources are finite. There's never enough going for everyone. You have a late game clash lane in the form of Charlotte. You have an Aaron, which is a marksman that needs gold. You have an Ogren, a raid boss that excels in early to mid game. So if you cannot channel consistent farm into your Haya, she tends to fall off really easily, especially when enemies have like strong 1v1 potential, like Chami's Fatih, for example.
Yeah. I mean, if it was completely different, like maybe Ogren and just the Haya were the only ones that were farming, right? I mean, it's going to be tough for Siri to not farm, but I think that if you focus that, you prioritize that as much as possible, it would have been maybe a very different game. But the spacing, the way the Blacklist International will be able to just be very oppressive and to kind of constantly invade and to make Illusion make those uncharacteristic mistakes with those bad mirages. And this is what you're going to see. Chammy won on the MVP stage quite a bit, right? 3-0-4 again. There's a reason why he's one of the best in terms of the Clash lane because of the amount of damage he has, the sustain, just everything that you want right now. And that was a great game by Chammy 1.
I have a question. Is this the same pose that we saw from multiple players? I'm pretty sure I've seen more than once with people posing this with their teeth out.
Yeah, I think that
Right, yeah.
it definitely looks like it. I think the rest of the team right now are kind of all very happy.
Expressive. Yeah.
Right,
expressive.
right. I think that, yeah, expressive. Okay, yes. I was gonna say that they're kind of on the same gesture that they are, the facial expression that they make when they're on the bathroom. But that's a whole other story. But Blacklist International here, being able to push this out and close it. I mean, they had a nice little play by Rattel. It's a nice little power gradation, but it seemed good, right? They got Joshi. Things were looking very good. But then look at the overextension. There's still 4-man fighting. They're so low. Now they're getting whittled down, and they're getting perfectly kited, kept at arm's reach. And with Chammy 1 and Dragon, the guys that are doing a decent amount of damage, really no answers for NONGSHIM.
In a normal 50-50 matchup, that could have been an ace coming in for the side of NONGSHIM REDFORCE. But due to the fact that it was too little too late and you were 6,000 gold down, which allowed the side of Blacklist International to be too